Signal have booked their ticket. But who will join them in the finals? Farm Fresh have never been there, but for the Creamline Cool Smashers, they want to be back. So, are we keeping things fresh or are we just staying cool? This is the PVL All-Filipino Conference Semifinals, right here in the heart of volleyball.
Step aside, I own this night. 차가운 시선도 out of sight. Pulse in my vein, it's electric gold. 내 불빛은 never cold. Light it up, no turning back. 세상 내 무대 track. 숨길 수 없어 내 vibe, so really energy you gonna feel. I'm invincible, nothing can break me. Limitless flow, don't try to chase me. Crash like a wave, wild and free. 이 무대 위, I'm all you see. Invincible, na 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 na. Na 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 na. Invincible, na 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 na. Na 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 na. 늦지 않아.
Eliza Valdez and the rest of the Cool Smashers, despite that crushing 4-set defeat against the Super Spikers, are still in contention for a spot in the Final Four. And in their way, Aragalang and the Foxies, soon that last win against the high-speed hitters, have put them just a game away from the team's first ever finals appearance. Welcome to the last day of the semifinals round robin, and at 6:30 p.m. the finals-bound Signal HD Super Spikers take on the battle for third contenders, the high-speed hitters. But moments away, we have the Cool Smashers and the Foxies fighting for the last ticket to the finals. Welcome to San Juan and to our coverage on One Sports Plus, One Sports and Filipinos Live. Eric Depan alongside Paneng the Canucks Motor and Sam Corrales. Sam, I'll start with you. These two teams met once in the preliminaries, and the Foxies won in 4 sets. That was in Santa Rosa. They obviously are confident coming into this matchup, but how is that confidence holding up considering all the pressure of this winner-take-all match?
Well, definitely a different situation this time around. They're coming in with nothing to lose, and that historic chance to finally break through the finals for the first time. Talking about the Foxies.
All right, well, that's good motivation. Now, for you, Paneng, the Cool Smashers winning his team in the PVL. Obviously, expectations are always high for this team. The fans, the team, the managers, the coaches, and even themselves expect them to win all the time. And you, being a former DLSU Lady Spiker team that was and is always expected to win, how do you handle that kind of pressure, especially in a match like this?
Well, you're right, no? Antaas ng pressure, especially coming to this game. But for the Creamline Cool Smashers, this game is very important, and their finals experience definitely will give them composure all throughout the finals, but they need to stay focused and stay consistent.
Let's take a look at the standings on final day of the round robin semifinals.
Well, you could see the team standings that Signal already booked the first final spot, and Farm Fresh Foxies and the Creamline Cool Smashers, they have the same win-loss card, but the Farm Fresh Foxies pulled a big win against the PLDT high-speed hitters. That was a 4-set match, and that's their first time that defeating PLDT high-speed hitters. But for the Creamline Cool Smashers, after that thrilling 5-set win against PLDT, they lost their game against the Super Spikers in 4 sets. And like what we mentioned, this game is going to be very important because whoever wins this game will get that final spot in the finals, and whoever loses will face the high-speed hitters in the battle for third.
And as good as the Cool Smashers are, they won almost every championship in 2024. Last year, they only finished second as their highest place. But Sam, this is still the Creamline that everybody loves, that everybody knows.
Of course, I mean, you were talking about the rankings and the standings, and it's just proof that any team could be at the top, but to stay up there and to set the standard year after year is a different story. And as we all know, Coach Sherwin Meneses is the one who steered the ship of Creamline Cool Smashers to 14 finals appearances. But he says, this one may be different because what will spell the difference towards that 15th elusive finals appearance is their heart and competitiveness. competitiveness. Sabi niya after their last game, they just moved on right away. Bawi agad. And as always, mindset for today against Farm Fresh, 1 point at a time. Bonus na yung 15th final appearance. And talking about veterans like the Phenom, Eliza Valdez, and Michelle Gumabao, they said they've been through a lot of challenges this season. Kaya naman, they're blessed and thankful to be battling it out here in the semis.
And as offensive heavy, you mentioned so many popular names, so many really good players. As offensive heavy as this team is, only 2 players scoring in double digits in that last game of theirs. Bernadette Pons, not her highest scoring game, only 17 points, which is probably one of the factors why they struggled in 4 sets against the Super Spikers.
Well, actually, Bernadette Pons is one of the most consistent players for the CREAMLINE Pool Smashers. But unlike their previous outing against the Super Spikers in 5 sets, this time losing their game in 4 sets during their semifinal round. But of course, Bernadette Pons really tried her best to keep the CREAMLINE Pool Smashers in game, but she didn't have enough support offensively. Gemma Galanza had 10 points, Tots Carlos had 8 points. But coming into this important game, of course, it's expected that Bernadette Pons will get her points. But it's also important for the rest of the squad to step up offensively, to lessen the load on the shoulders of Pons and to have a balanced offense for this game.
Tots Carlos only 8 points in that game. The only other player in double digits was Gemma Galanza with 10. So we're going to hear a lot of Pons from us today, and Trisha Tubu, those players carrying the heavy load of pressure in this winner-take-all game, Sam.
Of course, Eric and Paneng with the finals appearance on the line. Let's check in with Bernadette Pons and Trisha Tubu in this feature called Pressure Seat.
Yung mga pressure moments, tinatry talaga namin na i-compose yung sarili namin. Nag-enjoy na rin kami sa pressure. Nakakaya na namin i-handle to na sama-sama. Sa sobrang daming pressure na namin napagdaanan talaga, knowing tong Farm Fresh, laging aangat, din bababa. Through the help of yung mga veterans namin ngayon, itong mga pressure na to parang naging sangkap siya dun sa recipe ng process namin. Lagi din nare-remind sa amin nila coach na 1 point at a time, focus lang kami sa bawat puntos, wala kaming ibang iisipin. Kinocompose namin yung self namin para mas makapag-isip kami ng maayos dun sa mga gagawin namin. During yung mga pressure moments na yon, hawak-hawak kami together. Kasi alam namin na kahit anong mangyari, kami lang, walang sasalo sa amin. So, dun sa mga moment na yun talaga, napaka-importante nung tulungan. Since then talaga yung strength ng team namin is yung bawat isa. Alam namin kung paano kami magtrabaho, paano yung hirap ng ensayo namin. Yun yung motivation namin sa mga pressured moments na hindi tayo pwedeng matalo dito kasi strength namin yung bawat isa. Ngayon, kalaban ng CREAMLINE, mag-matter yung focus. Lahat ng team talagang gustong makapunta sa finals. Magkakatalo-talo sa kung sino yung pinaka-focus, sino yung mas grit na manalo. Ngayon, sa game namin, kalaban ang Farm Fresh. Hindi namin iisipin muna yung pressure. Back to zero lang kami. 1 game at a time yun yung focus namin. And then pagdating sa laro, 1 point at a time lang din talaga yung focus namin.
Well, ladies, so impressive how these players can stay composed under pressure, even under the lights, the interview, and saying the right things all the time.
Of course, they're all on the same page all the time. Of course, we know that the finals ticket is on the line, but for some of them, they're playing with no pressure. So talking about Farm Fresh still, this time with their head coach, Koji, he said, we are the challengers, so we shouldn't put any pressure on ourselves. We are playing like we have nothing to lose. And sabi rin niya, he told his team to expect the worst and not the best because their team is still ripe. As you can recall, the past few months, they have been working on their chemistry. And so for CREAMLINE naman daw, ito ay hinog na. So they are already intact. Sabi rin ni Trisha Tubu na she is going to take it or regret it tonight. She will play like there's no tomorrow. Na para bang end of contract na. Because again, they are a fresh contender here.
In fact, Coach Koji Tsurabara was telling the media, he was interviewed, he expects about 99.8% of the crowd wearing pink, nobody wearing red, maybe 1 or 2%, he's saying. But he's used to that, he's ready for it, and as first-timers, that's what they expect, nothing more, nothing less. Trisha Tubu, you mentioned, Sam, how good she's been responding under pressure. Twice already she scored in 28 points. And that last game, the win against the high-speed hitters, beating the high-speed hitters for the first time in 2 meetings, that was huge for them. That puts them in this position to go to the finals.
Well, actually, Trisha Tubo is one of the leading scorers offensively also for the Farm Fresh Foxies. And like what you mentioned during their game against the high-speed hitters, that was one of her best volleyballs so far because she scored 28 points, converting 26 points out of 54 attack attempts and with a 48% attack efficiency. But we know also that Trisha Tubo is ended the preliminary round as one of the top scorers and top attackers of the league. But coming into this game, it would be very important also for Trisha to stay composed under big moments because when she varies her attacks, she is really unstoppable, and this game is very important for their squad.
That's right. And I know the fans, you guys want to communicate, want to tell us what you feel, what you think, and Sam has a great question that you want to answer.
Speaking of Trisha Tubo, our question for the day is which team will attack their way into the finals? Don't forget to use the hashtag PVL 2026 because our choices are Gemma Galanza of the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers, or is it Ces Molina of the Farm Fresh Foxies?
That's a perfect question too, because these two teams are 1 and 2 in terms of attacking in the All-Filipino conference of the PVL. Farm Fresh is 1, CREAMLINE is 2. So, no more scenarios to figure out, no more win-loss records to compute. The formula is simple: win and go to the finals, lose, and you're playing for 3rd place. Who's gonna get the last seat in the finals, Foxies or the Cool Smashers? Set number 1 coming up right after these.
Higpitan ninyo. At baka kayo ang mapigtas.
Push us to our limits, find out why we're super.
Walang connection na mapapati.
We're taking the high-speed route to the crown.
Hindi lang kami handa, fresh pa kami.
Matagal-tagal din ang aming hinintay para makaani.
Hirap na pinagdaanan, yan ang nagpatamis sa pagpasok sa semis.
Hindi na sapat ang chillin' lang. It's time to show that winning is part of our DNA.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the city of San Juan. This is the semifinals round of the 2026 All-Filipino Conference for the Premier Volleyball League. This is match number 58 and the winner goes to the finals. Let us meet our competitors the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. And their opponents, the Farm Fresh Foxies. Introducing the two national referees officiating this match. Our first referee is Patrick Alan Castillo. The second referee is Erlindo Eusebio. Let's now be the starters. First, for the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. Middle blocker number 6, Pangs Panaga. Setter number 12, Gia De Guzman. Middle blocker number 14, Bea De Leon. Opposite hitter number 18, Tots Carlos. Outside spiker number 19, Bernadette Pons. And outside hitter number 23, Gemma Galanza. Starting libero number 11, Kyla Atienza. The head coach for CREAMLINE is Sherwin Meneses. And now the starters for the Farm Fresh Foxies. Setter number 1, Alohi Robbins Hardy. Middle blocker number 5, Desclemente De Guzman. Outside spiker number 7, Ces Molina. Opposite hitter number 12, Trisha Tubu. Middle blocker number 18, Riri Meneses. And outside spiker number 21, Royce Tupino. Starting libero number 4, Pia General. The head coach for Farm Fresh is Koji Tuzurabara. This match is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. Between CREAMLINE and Farm Fresh, this is the PVL, the heart of volleyball.
Coach Meneses opting to start Gemma Galanza and Tots Carlos. We mentioned Bernadette Pons coming off a 17-point performance. Galanza with 10. Valdez will come off the bench. So will Michelle Gumabao. For the Foxies, minor tweak as well for Coach Koji Tuzurabara. Royce Tubino back in the starting lineup after coming off the bench against the high-speed hitters. Des Clemente in the starting lineup. Ces Molina will be the firepower off the bench. Molina 12 points in their last game. Meanwhile, Tubino had 10. And we mentioned Trisha Tubu, 28 points, her second 28-point performance, which is not even her best game yet. 30 was her highest scoring game this All-Filipino conference. What's going to be key here, Paneng, for both teams?
Well, definitely both teams would want to start strong because this game is very important. Like we keep on mentioning, whoever wins this game will book that final spot in the finals. But of course, both of these squads, especially the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers, they have that finals experience, but they need to stay composed and disciplined all throughout the game.
Well, Pia General very disciplined, waiting to see the trajectory of the ball before trying to dig it. It landed out off the block. First point, opening set, Foxies. Cool Smashers, 52.4% reception despite the 4-point loss against the Super Spikers. So their passing has been good. Nice save by Tubino. This one goes over, and Meneses with a dump.
That's actually a tough situation for the Cool Smashers because earlier their first ball was not that good. It went over the net, but also that defense almost over the net na rin, kaya nahirapan si De Guzman to set that up.
Meneses coming off a 5-point performance against the high-speed hitters. De Guzman underhand set to Carlos. Carlos only 8 points in their last game. She needs to step it up. This one off the block. One-handed set for Alohi Robbins Hardy, and Meneses is rejected by Panaga.
That was a good anticipation on the quick hit of Meneses coming from that kill block of Pangs Panaga.
Both teams looking sharp, Paneng, so far, especially their defense at the net.
That's right. I'm talking about the Creamline Cool Smashers. But for the start of this set, they need to have a more solid first ball for them to be able to execute their play.
There's a good pass by Tubino, and she's saying she picked up a block touch. Patrick Castillo, our first referee, does not agree.
They will not challenge that last point.
Coach Koji Tsurabara last season took the Petrogas Angels to the finals and won the championship against these Cool Smashers. So let's see if he can do it again, this time with a different team. Service fault by Galanza.
But this is actually a good run for the Farm Fresh Foxes because this will be their chance to have their first finals appearance for the PVL.
Full front line for Alohi Robbins Hardy. She's in the back row. So options of Tubu, Clemente de Guzman, and Tubino. Nice block by the Foxies. That's going to be on Tubino. Initially, that's the first look.
Take a look at that last play. The set was short and low, and Bernadette Pons tried to squeeze that in between two blockers, but it didn't work. Royce Tubino was there.
Little fake by Panaga. Pons down the line. Bernadette Pons. Let's go courtside, find out what's going on with Sam Corrales. All right, we'll get to Sam in just a little bit. And it's just really noisy here in the venue. And Sam is standing right beside the Creamline fan section. Well, obviously, that's pretty noisy, especially after the kill by De Leon. Let's go back to Sam.
It's win or go home for our teams for today, and for the Creamline Cool Smashers, this is not unfamiliar territory. Now they are leaning into their championship experience, one that cemented them as a dominant force here in the PVL. Gia de Guzman said they need to take control of the game right at the beginning. And Paneng, you just mentioned it. It is their first ball. And despite 14 finals appearances already, Gia says this one is quite different. She feels the hunger, but everyone has to be present today for their goal to be achieved. And even as they go up against Saoirse Tubu's firepower and hard spikes, she knows that they have to move on to the next point right away because that's something they can control. Back to you, Eric and Paneng.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. We appreciate your hard work where you are because that is a loud section right there, the Creamline section here inside San Juan Arena. I thought Carlos going right down behind La Rosa for the point. Great pass by Molina. And Clemente de Guzman missing it.
That was the first slide attack for the Farm Fresh Foxies. But the execution was not that good because it sailed out.
And you like the smile of Coach Koji Tsurabara. I mean, no pressure on the players. But that smile might turn upside down a little later on. If this run continues for the Cool Smashers. Back-to-back errors, but for the Foxies.
That's back-to-back attack errors from the Foxies, giving free points to the Creamline Cool Smashers. And of course, if you're Creamline, they will capitalize on those free points and also the errors committed by the Foxies. And so far, they have this a good run, 2 points advantage.
Much better pass by Molina. And this time, Tubino, that set got away from her. So 3 straight points off errors by the Foxies for the Cool Smashers to send us to our first technical timeout. back inside San Juan. And while you may see some empty seats, according to the PVL, there's a long line outside. And almost 4,000 tickets already sold. This venue only seats 6,000. So if you're just planning on coming over now, it might be a better idea just to stay home, watch this game on One Sports Plus and Pilipinas Live. That ends the 4-point run of the Cool Smashers. Service fault by Coach Carlos.
But they need to take care of this 2 points advantage because kayang-kaya habulin yan ng Foxies, especially at this first part of the set.
Pons with a drop. Where's Tubino quick for the dig. Molina. This one outside. There is a block touch for the first break point of the Foxies in almost 3 minutes.
A 2-point run here from the Foxies. Actually, Ces Molina tried to catch that ball na hindi ganun kakompleto yung approach niya, but she was still able to convert that into a point.
Tough pass, and that push is short for De Leon. Back-to-back break points for the Foxies. The last one off an error by Bea.
Also a 3-point run now for the Foxies.
And the game is tied just for the 4th time here in the first set. Good serving by Tubino. Pons going cross and catches the court. Side out for the Cool Smashers.
That's a long ball targeting the end line of the court of the Foxies. Take a look at that again.
Second point already for Bernadette Pons. Gold medalist in last year's Southeast Asian Games with CC Rondina in Thailand. Beautiful move at the net by Bea De Leon, anticipating the overpass and puts it away.
Good timing on that one from Bea De Leon.
De Leon is 5'11" against the 6'3" Robbins Hardy at the net in that sequence. Alohi to Cess. One-handed dig for Tots. Gemma. Bia picks it up. Alohi back to Cess. Yes!
Again, that was a good target by Ces Molina. It was not a sharp cross-court, but a long ball na hirapan makapwesto in the defense doon ng Cool Smashers.
Molina, one of the bets already at 31 years old. Second point for Molina. And a 1-point deficit against the Foxies. Great pass by Nierva. Molina diving and saving it. And another 1-2 for De Guzman. That's her first point today.
That's actually a good decision from De Guzman. Hindi na nila hinayaan mag-set up doon. Siya na ang gumawa ng point courtesy of that 1-2 play. Dahil nag-scramble pa sa defense position dito ang Foxies.
But that effort by Ces Molina diving on the floor tells you everything about what the Foxies are playing for today. De Leon with a nice pass to Cess. Cess with a great receive. And then a net touch is going to be called against Pangs Panaga. And nip and tuck affair so far here in the opening set. Buzzer sounded.
I think I heard it too, but no, there won't be any challenge.
Yeah. Inadvertent press of the button, and it's going off again. All right, it was for nothing. Technical committee sorted it out. 10 serving 11. Alohi Robbins Hardy back in the service area with a full front line. Off-speed hit by Tots Carlos. La Rosa sets it up for Trisha. Trisha knocks it in.
And there you go, Trisha Tubu targeting cross-court. And it was actually a good set from La Rosa. Perfect height and distance from the net.
That is your spike of the set, brought to you by Dunkin'. Pasalubong ng Bayan. Tubu with 3 points, and it's our 5th deadlock of the opening set. Great pass by Pons. Panaga, nowhere to go as Riri Meneses turned her away.
It was a good first ball, and you will expect that De Guzman will set up her middle attackers, but Meneses was able to block that kill block one-on-one there with Pangs Panaga.
Smart play by Riri Meneses, reading what the Cool Smashers will do. Overpass by Nierva. Here comes Trisha Tubu. The drop attempt, and Panaga returns the favor.
Good timing on the block again from Panaga. Medyo na-delay siya doon for the cross-court block, but her hang time and timing as well worked really well for the Creamline Cool Smashers. We're tied at 12.
Hans Panaga displaying a lot of athleticism despite being one of the senior players for the Cool Smashers already. Serve outside for Gia de Guzman. Untimely errors for both teams, Maneng, not allowing them to pull away here in the first set.
But though earlier we saw as much as 3 points advantage, or maybe not 4 points earlier of the start of this set. But yun nga lang, dahil nagsusunod yung errors ng either squad, kaya wala tayong nakikita masyadong separation in the scoreboard during this mid part of the set.
Molina with an excellent serve, forcing a reception error from the Cool Smashers. Here's a timeout by Coach Meneses.
Nakaka-atake tayo, nakaka-block tayo. Pero binibigyan natin sila ng mga easy point. Number 1 serve, target lang tayo. Nandiyan naman si ano. Okay? Okay, one pass muna ulit tayo. One pass, ha? Let's go.
Hey, one, CREAMLINE!
Sherwin Meneses, former Adamson soaring Falcon. Longtime head coach of the Cool Smashers. Right now down by 2 points. This is the biggest lead for Tubino and the Foxies as you look at the numbers of Tubino in that semi-final win against the high-speed hitters.
Well, she scored 10 points with 6 excellent digs. But coming into this game, this is a much more important game for the Foxies. They needed to have more balanced offense. And para mas ma-distribute pa ng maayos yung bola, activating all of the attackers.
Carlos with her second point.
And take a look at that bump set and a finish. Targeting cross-court. That's from Tots Carlos after that opposite hit.
So a side out for the Cool Smashers. Another overpass by General. And Panaga puts it away. 3 points for Panaga. The game is tied off that break point by the Cool Smashers. Talk about reception. Both teams are at least top 3 in reception. Foxy's number 3. Cool Smashers number 1. That hit outside. 3-point run for the Cool Smashers, Maneng, to regain the lead.
So this is what's good about the Creamline Cool Smashers as well. Even though they're down by a lot of points, as much as 3 points, kayang-kaya nilang habulin yun. And if you look at them, they're relaxed and staying focused and disciplined. And they're taking it 1 point at a time lang. That's why now they're up by 1 point.
Good save by Carlos. Kayla Atienza pops it up. Easy over for Pons. Robbins Hardy to Tubu. Tubu rejected!
And that was a low and fast set for Trisha Tubu on the opposite. But nabantayan na yun ng blockers na Creamline Cool Smashers. Take a look at that again.
Third break point for the Cool Smashers. They've scored 4 in a row, up by 2 at the second technical timeout of the opening set. Getting a side out as we return from the break. Villa General has been struggling with her passing, which has not allowed Farm Fresh to be as aggressive as they want to be here in the first set. Meneses is serving. Combination play, that dig going over and out. Cesc Molina as Paz Carlos sides out for the Cool Smashers.
Well, that was a good call from Nierva and Galanza. That ang bilis ng balik ng bola on their side, and they were scrambling for the position, and they saw that going outside. A good communication between these two players.
2-point lead restored for the 3-time All-Filipino Conference champions. And Molina has been passing very well, but unfortunately, it's been only her so far in the opening set. Tubu, now her 5th point.
A much-needed point here for the Foxies with Tubu targeting cross-court in between two blockers. She saw that the middle or the cross-court block was late, and that was a good target from Tubu.
2 sub coming in for Coach Zurabara. Romero, Paat. The first time they came in against the high-speed hitters in their second semifinal game. They really put on a good run. Combination, Forms. Bernadette Forms off to a good start. That's her 4th point today.
Well, whenever they get a good first ball, De Guzman will be able to activate her middle attackers na even though hindi niya isi-set up yon, but a combination play and a good timing from her middle attackers would get the blockers of the Foxies off time.
There's a much better pass by General. Paat. Yes! Mylene Paat. Immediate impact off the bench.
That's right. And Paat targeting down the line. I think that was just a small opening on that angle, but she was still able to send that ball there.
Paat 5 points in that 4-set win against the high-speed hitters in their second round-robin semifinals. Galanza, such a great passer. And this one right on the line. De Leon also off to a good start today. That's point number 3 for her. What a shoot set.
That's right. Medyo paatras pa dun si Gia, but she was still able to find Bea De Leon when she went for that quick approach.
Still up by 2. Romero. Atienza with a touch. Forms keeping it alive. Going to be an easy over for Bea De Leon. Chance ball for the Foxies. Can they convert? Forms with a dig. Carlos diving for it, and the second touch gets away from the Cool Smashers.
But that's a good hit from Cesc Molina. That was a strong cross-court hit. Ang taas ang daan ng bola on top of the blockers.
And you still like Paneng how these Foxies keep siding out just at the right moment, not allowing the Cool Smashers to run away.
Especially at this tail part of the first set.
Riza Cruz, a starter against the high-speed hitters today, comes off the bench, had 4 points. In the last game, gets an ace. Huge point for the Foxies to tie the game at 9 or 19.
It was a good loaded serve with a good target as well, confusing 2 receivers on the side of CREAMLINE.
Foxies able to lead by as many as 2 earlier in the first set. Good pass by Nierva. Combination play again. Galanza to Bino with a good dig. Romero to Paat. Paat cross court. Popped up by Carlos from the pipe. There's a hit by Forms. Molina. Cross court. Forms pops it up. Galanza. And a block by the Foxies to retake the lead.
That was a good block once again from the Farm Fresh Foxies. After this back row hit and a solid defense from Farm Fresh, they were able to get that point courtesy of the double block of Paat and Meneses.
Very quickly a net ball challenge by the Cool Smashers. First challenge of this 3rd and last semifinals. Cool Smashers are coming off a loss. You want to forget that and focus all your attention on this highly important matchup for the Foxies for the right to go to the finals. Do you think at the back of their minds they're thinking about that 4-set loss against the Foxies, or that's absolutely a thing of the past?
For definitely, I mean, especially at this part of the game, no? Wait, let's take a look at this first, if there's indeed a net fault. No, I think it was a clean block. So that's a unsuccessful challenge. The point will stay with the Farm Fresh Foxies. But going back to your question, this is an important match. So they just need to stay focused because look forward, when they win this match, they will book a ticket to the finals.
Pwede dito, tsaka Tots. Ha? Kasi nandito sila. Pero huwag muna kayo magpakita. Receive 2 tayo, receive 2. Tumakbo ka lang ng malayo dito. Okay, 1 point tayo, 1 point. Let's go! Yes! Energy! 1, CREAMLINE!
All right, so receive 2 is the play here. Take a look at how they're going to set up in this reception. So they've got Pons, who's a great passer, Nierva in the middle, and Galanza, who's also an excellent passer. Cruz already picked up an ace off the bench. Perfect pass by Jen Nierva. Now the dig by Cruz. Paat attacks. Dig by Nierva. Galanza going down the line for Mero with a dig. Paat again. Second straight hit for Mylene Paat. Tots Carlos from the back row. Romero, second straight dig. Lisa Cruz sets it up for Mylene Paat, who's blocked. The save is good by the Foxies. Galanza, the drop. Here's Paat again. One-handed dig goes over. Chance ball for the Foxies. They go to Meneses. Dig by Pons. Longest rally of the opening set. Galanza, Tubino, Meneses, and the easy over by Molina. De Guzman. There's De Leon with a hit. What a rally. And a drop shot finally. Mylene Paat. Makes that 2 points off the bench for the Foxies and a 2-point lead for Farm Fresh.
That was a very long rally. Credit to the defense of both squads. And they take a look at that coverage from the Foxies. Sobrang tight, really waiting for the ball na kung pumasok man sa block or magkaroon man ng tail block or block from the other side. But it's important that yung tightness ng coverage na yun that kept that ball alive.
And despite winning that rally, Coach Zurabara seems like we'll call a timeout.
Okay. A-catch. Go to Gomi. No hearsay, really. No hearsay. Side. Line mark. Fighting. Line mark. High toss. Top. Line mark. 3 and 3. Position for 3 and 3.
Let's go, Berhan!
Interesting tactic here for Coach Zurabara. Usually, coaches, you want to ride the momentum of winning a break point. But he stops the game for a moment to run a little play here as they get ready for another serve for Cruz.
Well, maybe one of the reasons also that he called for that timeout to let the players breathe because it was a long rally and he could see that they were also scrambling to recover, and that will give them an opportunity to regroup. But unfortunately, this is not a good response from the Foxies after that timeout because that's a service error.
But how about the Cool Smashers? At least 2 free balls they got in that rally and they could not convert. Michelle Gumabao checking in for the first time today. Let's see if her entry can give them a break point here after that side out. Dij Rodriguez also in the game for the first time with a serve. Paat. That one outside. So 2 straight errors, Paneng, for the Foxies, and the game is tied.
That's right, and this is what we were talking about earlier, na kahit na lumamang yung Farm Fresh, nakakahabol at nagagawa ng paraan na CREAMLINE makadikit sa puntos. But of course, those are 2 free points given to the Cool Smashers. So if you're the Farm Fresh Foxies, as much as possible, lessen those unforced errors.
Beautiful drop by Molina against Gumabao to put the Foxies back on top by 1 after that side out. Molina with a good 5 points already, and we're just in the first set.
Trisha Tubu and Robbins Hardy are now back in the court for the Foxies.
And a perfect rotation. They've got a full front line, but they must contend with the offense first. Creamline with a good pass again. Galanza! La Rosa, big going over. Chance ball here for the Cool Smashers. But they can't execute. Galanza off a broken play. How about that?
And that was a strong cross-court from Galanza, finding that cross-court angle even though there were two blockers already in front of her. And that's a good break point for the Creamline Cool Smashers.
So Gia de Guzman returns. 22 all. Can't get any tighter and closer than how we are now in the opening set of this winner-take-all matchup. Alohi Robbins-Hardy to Cesc Molina. Tubu with coverage. Robbins-Hardy to pass. Perfect. Molina can't put it away. Carlos answers to put the Cool Smashers on top by 1.
Started with a good defense from the Creamline Cool Smashers. Sakto lang kay Gia de Guzman. Kaya naman set up niya doon si Tots Carlos. Also, after waiting for the approach of Pax Panaga and getting that point. Timeout here by Farm Fresh.
Focus! Mental! Mental versus mental! Mental! One more, two more! Everyone go cover! Go cover!
Well, Coach Zurabara asking everybody to cover because that's going to be important. He knows how good offensively their opponent is.
But it's also nice to hear from Coach Koji, and it's also important, especially at this latter part of the set. It's all about mental toughness as well, because both of the squads are also committing errors, but the timing of the errors will not help them, especially if you're the Farm Fresh Foxes na kayo yung kailangan humabol sa lamang dito ng Creamline.
Gotta get a side out if you're the Foxies. No ifs and buts about it. Good pass, Robbins-Hardy to Molina. Molina off the block. Now Tubu will try. Blocked again, there's coverage. Meneses, the tip. Forms easy over from the back row. Another opportunity to set it up. Tubu, blocked again. It lands just outside. Side out for the Foxies to tie the game.
Of course, Tubu has the hot hands now for the Foxies. That's a good set from Robbins-Hardy.
Tubu with 6, Molina with 5. They are the leading scorers for the Foxies. Meanwhile, it's Carlos and Pons with 4 each for the Cool Smashers. Molina, nice serve, but a good pass by Nierva. Tots Carlos, hard to cover that when it bounces all the way outside off the block.
Well, I think that was the second time we saw that play from Tots Carlos. But of course, after that good first ball, you would expect that there will be a combination play coming from the Creamline Cool Smashers. But that finish from Tots Carlos will give them the set point advantage now.
Good pass by Tubino. Tubu. There's coverage here for the Cool Smashers. Chance to put it away. Tots Carlos. She got it. Tots Carlos with her 6th point gives the Cool Smashers the set 1 win. Pure Gold always Panalo play of the set, brought to you by Pure Gold. So Pure Gold always Panalo.
And that was actually a good first set for the Creamline Cool Smashers. Earlier, they were playing catch-up sa advantage ng Farm Fresh Foxies. But what's important is how they kept their momentum and their composure all throughout the first set and getting that win, 25-23.
After 11 deadlocks and 5 lead changes, Cool Smashers led by as many as 3, Foxies led by 2, and this is the outcome after the first set, Pading.
It was a tight first set. Actually, yung start pa lang, isahan lang yung advantage ng both squads. But we saw a little gap or opening during that middle part of the set. But you could see that CREAMLINE Cool Smashers really stayed composed during that first set. And humahabol nga sila minsan sa lamang ng Farm Fresh. And also Farm Fresh na una pa sa 21-point mark. But they committed multiple errors back-to-back, talking about the CREAMLINE, talking about the Farm Fresh Foxies, giving 3 points to the Cool Smashers, where the Cool Smashers capitalized on those errors and of course getting that first set win. And looking at the numbers, 15 attack points and 3 kill blocks for the Cool Smashers. They did have 5 errors, pero mas madaming errors yung Farm Fresh doon with 7 errors. And again, I think the timing of the errors caused that first set for the Farm Fresh Foxies because nauna na nga sila sa 21-point mark. But I think that was 3 consecutive errors that gave chance to the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. But of course, we saw better floor defense and better first ball from CREAMLINE during the latter part of that first set. That's why nakakuha na sila ng mga combination plays. But yung mga middle attackers nila, we didn't see much quick hits from CREAMLINE. But of course, Tots Carlos was one of the leading scorers of their squad with 6 points. And Trisha Tubu for the Farm Fresh Foxies with 6 points as well. So coming to the second set, the momentum is on the side of CREAMLINE. But if you're Farm Fresh, of course, gusto mo ding makabawi. So we'll see how they will play this second set.
Starting lineup is the same for both teams here in set number 2. The venue slowly getting packed here, almost standing room only in this winner-take-all matchup between the Foxies and the Cool Smashers. Tubino with a save. Easy over by La Rosa. Chance to set it up again offensively. Panaga's hit was dug. Tubu has been checked multiple times in the first set. Carlos. Robbins Hardy digging it up. La Rosa to Trisha. Trisha off the block.
Same as the first set. Farm Fresh got the first point of the set. That's Trisha Tubu targeting the arms of the blockers, getting that off the block hit and off the block point.
Farm Fresh Foxies in position 1 with Alohi Robbins Hardy serving. Good pass again by Nierva. They've got to, as you see that hit right on the line for Fox Panaga, her 4th point. It's got to be in the mind of the servers here of the Foxies not to send it to either Kyla Atienza or Jen Nierva because that allows the Cool Smashers to really set it up.
But actually, it's not just the liberos of the Cool Smashers who are good receivers. You have Gemma Galanza as well. You have Bernadette Pons.
Good save by the Cool Smashers. That's a block by Tubu. Galanza will chop to keep it alive, but 4 touches against the Foxies.
Actually a good defense na, but there was a miscommunication. Trisha Tubu didn't know that if she set that up, magiging 4 touches na for their squad.
Will not be accepted during the mid-rally dapat. But you guys have to call that. We don't call. The linesman. But I don't see the...
Alohi Robbins Hardy arguing there should have been a call on what she perceived was a violation by the Cool Smashers, but Patrick Alan Castillo, our first referee, saying I didn't see anything, so there was nothing to call. 2-1, Cool Smashers up by 1. Molina cross court, and that dig getting away from Atienza, but a good save by Pons. Battle at the net. Atienza keeping it alive. Galanza rejected coverage by Carlos. Gonna be an easy over by Gemma. Trisha Tubu got it.
So medyo nahirapan maka-convert ng point doon ang Cool Smashers. The setups or the bomb sets were not that good going to Gemma Galanza.
Trisha Tubu's got to find better ways to hit. She's been checked. The defense at the net, especially the Cool Smashers, really focusing in on her. Fortunately for the Foxies, the 2 attack points. The second set all coming from Trisha Tubu as Galanza answers on the other end. Let's see what's going on courtside with Sam Corrales.
Eric and Penang, we saw so many deadlocks and long rallies in that first set, with both teams really relying on their spikers like Trisha Tubu and Bernadette Pons. And I can tell you that they have got a lot of trust from their coaches coming into today's game. Coach Sherwin encouraged Pons not to have any doubts, just hit the ball hard and play her game. And with one day of prep against the Foxies, Bernadette Pons told me it's more about the mental preparation and emotional control. Sabi niya sa akin, pati bayan talaga ng loob. And for the Foxies, Trisha Tubu got a lot of confidence from Coach Koji, especially after dominating in the last part in their last game. In that timeout, Coach told Alohi to set it all up for Trisha. And with Ces Molina saying she has their back, that may be the formula for unleashing the beast in Trisha Tubu. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Sam. Well, you can tell by that report that Tubu will be the focal point of the offense. Let's see if they can cover, because she will be checked plenty for sure. As you see, she didn't even go for the touch. Overpass, and De Guzman let it go for the easy cool smashers point.
Parang that was a veteran move from Gia De Guzman.
Tubino. Back-to-back points for Royce Tubino. She's got 3 already, Paneng.
That's right, but that's off the block. And take a look at that again. And like what we mentioned, no, of course, i-expect natin na madami isa-set dito kay Trisha Tubu. But it's also important for the side of the Foxies to spread out their offense, because they have a lot of firepower options. You have Ces Molina, Royce Tubino, and even your middle attacker. So if you will go most of the time to your open hitter or opposite, talagang mababantayan yung block niyan.
La Rosa with a dig on the second straight hit for Tots Carlos. And speaking of straight hits, Royce Tubino. Prior to the 3 points she scored here in the second set, she had 1.3 errors, so more points given up than what she's actually scored, but now she's got 4, and she's taking care of business for the Foxies.
But of course, also not just for Royce Tubino, it's important for the rest of the squad to lessen their errors, and we talked about that during the first set. The timing of their errors, especially at the latter part of that set, doon sila nahirapan makakuha ng panalo.
Great save by Alohi Robbins-Hardy, sacrificing her body. But in that scramble, plenty of open spaces to put that ball away for the Cool Smashers, Paneng.
But also, we could see on the side of the Cool Smashers that they're already setting up their middle attackers. It was not a high set, but a low and fast set for middle attackers, talking about De Guzman. Kaya you could see na nagsiscramble din sa position on the block. And floor defense, itong Foxies.
Good pass by Royce. Royce gets it back. Carlos to De Guzman. De Guzman to De Leon. Block coverage by Carlos. They will try again. It goes back. Chance ball for the Foxies. Running attack for Cruz. He misses. And that's going to be a point for the Cool Smashers. Although very quickly there is a challenge here by the Foxies.
Yes, it's they will challenge that last point. Block, touch. Pero medyo mataas yung daan ng bola, and there was not much spin on that slide attack. So we'll see if there was indeed a block touch, because when you saw the blockers of CREAMLINE, they reacted like there was no block touch.
In last year's All-Filipino Conference, Foxies finished 10th. So how far have they come in the 2025-2026 season, right?
That's right, and this is one of the best finish na ng Farm Fresh Foxies. So this is something to be proud about as well.
No matter what happens, even if they lose today, we're not predicting anything. All we're saying is, even if they lose today, it's still their best finish in franchise history.
That's right, and of course, if you're the Foxies, talagang ayaw mong pakawalan tong chance na to, because this is the time that they will be able to have that a chance.
Tubino misses. No, it is a block touch against the Cool Smashers. So very quick side out here for the Farm Fresh Foxies to tie the game at 6.
Take a look at that. In between two blockers, and a good touch there.
Des Clemente de Guzman back in the game. She has been a non-factor so far in the last 2 games. Only 2 points in that win against the high-speed hitters. And today she hasn't scored yet. De Guzman, 1-2. La Rosa picks it up. Molina pushes Galanza right there in the back zone. Pons Royce Tubino with coverage. Molina going long. Nierva digs it up. Here comes Pons, second straight try. And Pons, third time. De Guzman sets it up for Molina. Top angle. Nierva pops it up. Here is Pons again. Pons to drop. Tubu was right there, but the dig goes over. Coverage by Tubino. Molina goes wide. Is there a block touch? There isn't any, according to referee Castillo, and another challenge Paneg for the Foxies.
They lost their first challenge na, so ito na lang yung natitira for the rest of the set, but they decided to use it. So we'll see if there was indeed a block touch.
I mean, and that's such an exhausting challenge for both teams, actually. I mean, Pons repeatedly running back and forth, trying to position herself for an attack, and then the scrambling defense here, the Foxies, Paneng.
So we're seeing a lot of long rallies since the start of this game. You could see lang. Oh, let's take a look at this again.
Yeah, there is.
There was a block touch.
That ring finger. Think of De Leon. So successful challenge. They still have one challenge remaining. Coach Koji Tuzorabara as the Foxies lead by 1 now. And referee Castillo will speak to Robbins Hardy.
Assistant coach, if he has query, through you only. Through you, don't shout at the bench. Okay, next time I'll be there. Thank you.
Assistant coach Kung Fu Reyes saying I got it. So not a lot of words exchanged between Robbins Hardy and assistant coach Reyes. Tubino trying to send us to our first technical timeout with the Foxies ahead. Good serve again. De Guzman, combination play. Pons, what a dig for Tubino. Molina. What a rejection.
After that block touch earlier, that's the reason why the Foxies had a 1-point advantage, but bumawi naman dito si Bea De Leon. Guarding that cross-court angle really well. Take a look at that wave.
7 deadlocks through 14 points of set number 2. Perfect pass. Molina. Got it. Cés Molina sends us to our first technical timeout. The Foxies up by 1. The 2026 MPTC Tour of Luzon is back. Bigger, bolder, and tougher than ever. Local and international cyclists face a grueling 14-stage battle across 13 provinces and 5 regions. An 1,800-kilometer test of endurance, speed, and strategy. Don't miss a single moment. Catch all the action live on the Pilipinas Live app, also on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Back to second set action. Foxies, School Smashers. Robbins Hardy taking the option and scoring her first point of set number 2.
Well, it all started with a good serve from De Guzman, targeting short ball. Kaya naman nagkaroon ng over ball doon on the first ball from the Cool Smashers. Robbins Hardy doing that 1-2 play.
Capitalizing on that 6'3" height, catching the ball up top with a dump. 2-point lead now, the biggest for the Foxies here in set 2. Alanza. Meneses sort of got turned around and lost her bearings for a moment.
Well, minsan, lalo na pag coming from a block, pagkaikot mo, pagbaba, minsan di mo na nakikita kung saan tumaan yung bola.
Obviously, she regrets that. She was in the right position. Galanza with 3 points. 2 scored here in the second set. 1-point game, 8 serving 9. Great pass again by Tubino. So many excellent receives for her. The save by Hardy. Molina sends it over. Chance ball. Cool smashers. Panaga. Tubino again with a dig. Tubu. She's been quiet here in set number 2. Galanza. Block.
Good block by Farm Fresh. Though we're seeing a lot of quick hits coming from the Creamline Cool Smashers, nagganda ng depensa ng Foxies. Napapabagal ng blockers nila yung mga quick hits ng Cool Smashers, and they have solid floor defense. Talking about Farm Fresh.
Robbins Hardy with 2 points, all scored in the second set. Galanza drop shot is short. 4 touches called against the Cool Smashers, and this is the biggest lead now for the Foxies in the match.
A 3-point advantage meron dito ang Foxies, but Coach Sherwin will call for a timeout. Let's listen to the huddle.
Kung hindi mo papalo, hindi kamayin mo na. Okay? Kasi maganda yung set eh. So, ibig sabihin, bibilisan ko yung palo or lalakasan ko. Okay? May receive tayo. Ulitin lang natin. Ulitin lang natin. Let's go. Go.
Hey, one Creamline!
Reception has never been an issue for the Cool Smashers. The passes have been excellent, like what you mentioned. Nierva, I said Nierva, and of course Kayla Atienza, but you mentioned it's not just them. It's Galanza, it's Spons passing so well for the Cool Smashers, but they have not been able to convert on the other end. Head of content there, Miko Halili of Signal TV, and of course Boom Gonzalez, a member of our panel, taking in the action and part of the 6,000 watching inside the arena in San Juan. And a nice side out for De Guzman.
That last play, parang akala mo set up niya si Pangs Panaga, paatras doon si Gia De Guzman, but went for that 1-2 play. Kaya naman naiwan na bukas dito yung middle defense ng Farm Fresh.
Cool Smashers keeping it close. Now they're looking to score break points. Short pass by General. Molina through the double block. Panaga trying to save it. Unsuccessful. Molina now with 8.
That was a good quick side out for the Farm Fresh Foxies.
And you can see Molina, Tubu, they're not intimidated. The blocking has been good for these Cool Smashers, but the Foxies continue to pound away. Great pass again, this time by Pons. And another block, this time from the Foxies as they return the favor and give the Cool Smashers a taste of their own medicine.
This is a 4-point advantage now for the Farm Fresh Foxies, but earlier we did mention that now the Cool Smashers are activating their middle attackers, but the Foxies has a good net defense and floor defense, kaya so far hindi pa gumagana yung activation ng middle attackers ng Cool Smashers.
Easy dig for Molina. Robbins Hardy to Tubu. Tubu against a single blocker. Trisha now getting activated. 9 points for her.
Good run here for Farm Fresh.
It is one break point after another. That is your spike of the set, brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan. And Coach Meneses will try to make an adjustment. And maybe you can guess why the crowd is roaring before we show it on the screen. There it is. Gumabaw coming in, and more importantly, waiting for the video to catch up. Negrito in, but there is Eliza Valdez. Obviously, the star of the Cool Smashers. Let's see if she can make a difference here. For Creamline, down by their biggest deficit at 5 points. Bad pass, a rare misreceived by Bernadette Pons.
It was a good serve actually from Ces Molina. It was not that solid or float. Bigla lang bumaba in the middle of Creamline's defense.
6-point lead now. This is the biggest lead for either team in this semifinals. Gumabaw. And the save by Tubu unsuccessful. Finally, the Cool Smashers get a side out.
But it was a good adjustment also from Gumabaw after that setup by Negrito.
And by the roar of the crowd, you can tell it's Valdez getting ready to serve. Valdez only 1 point, played only 1 set in the loss against the Super Spikers. Valdez with a dig. What a reverse for Negrito, and Gumabaw with her second point.
This is actually an interesting substitution from the side of the Cool Smashers because usually we only see double substitutions or yung service specialist nila. But earlier we saw na sabay-sabay yung tatlong veterans ng Creamline checking in for their squad.
So that's a break point for the Cool Smashers. They've scored 2 in a row. Great pass this time by General. Tubino looking for the side out. She got it. Royce Tubino with 6. She's having a huge second set. 5 over 6 points coming in the second. And they lead at the second technical timeout by 5. UAAP Season 88 volleyball is in full swing. We're down to the final 2 game days of the eliminations. Watch the games every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on the UAAP Varsity channel and One Sports, because legends like Michelle Mabao and Eliza Valdez start here. Meneses serving. Valdez with the pass. Mabao looking for her second straight point. She misses.
There was no block touch. So another free point given to the Foxies. This is a huge 6 points advantage again for Farm Fresh.
So a 2-point answer by the Foxies to restore their 6-point lead. Valdez, much better pass. And an overreach going to be on Tubino.
Akala mo mag-over na yung bola, but Negrito was still able to set that up. One-handed set, kaya naman natawagan dito ng overreach si Royce Tubino.
You can't blame Royce Tubino. You want to capitalize on free balls, and she thought that was going to be a free one. So a side out for the Cool Smashers. They are within 5. Panaga and Creamline up 1-0, winning the first by 2 points. Tubino making up for the error with a side out. She's got 7 already.
So again, a quick side out for the side of Farm Fresh. So this is a huge difference for this second set. Dahil no first set, isahan lang tayo eh. But not until nakalayo itong Farm Fresh this second set. And hindi na nila hinayang makakuha ng mini run or good run itong Creamline. Kaya rin ang laki ng lamang nila. 6 points again for Farm Fresh.
Maylene Paat and Louis Romero back in the game for the Foxies. Negrito goes to Pons. Romero passes. De Guzman to Tubino. Gets a bounce off the blockers and scores again. 8 points now for Tubino. She has the last 3 points of the Foxies.
And after that bump set from De Guzman, nakagawa pa ng paraan dito si Royce Tubino getting that point.
And now, Coach Meneses forced to call his last timeout, down by 7 points.
1 point lang tayo, makakahabol tayo dyan. Ha? Girls, makakahabol tayo dyan, 1 point lang tayo. Mag-play ka lang dyan. Pagka walang receive, doon ang bato. Pag may receive, di yan, kahit kanino yan. Let's go, 1 point, let's go!
Let's go! Happy!
Coach Meneses is reminding Cool Smashers, if we don't get a good pass, we go to the outside hitter. Most of the time, if we have one, then Negrito, who's right now the setter, can decide on what play to run. Romero with a full front line for the Foxies. And a bad pass. Negrito unable to set it up.
Pag masyadong dikit sa net yung first ball, nahihirapan yung setters sila, especially na nasa back row ngayon si Negrito.
Here's a much better one for Kyle. Pons, dubbed by Molina. Beautiful defense. Paat, that's a little low. Valdez digs it up. Pons again. That's rejected. Coverage by Nierva. Bernadette Pons, third straight try. La Rosa pops it up. Here comes Royce. Royce has been good. 9 points. She has the last 4 of the Foxies, and the lead is 9 for Farm Fresh.
And that's actually a good attack from Royce Tubino because she was facing a cross court. Kaya naman yung pwesto ng defense ng Creamline waiting on that angle, but she targeted that down the line. Zone 1, nahirapan doon ang defense ng Creamline, and Farm Fresh will call for a timeout.
3 target 5. Be quick or inside. Lead block. Okay. Be quick. Here. Okay. Stop. Look at it. Take care after tip ball.
Coach Zurabara calling some odd timeouts today. That takes some getting used to. There were no more timeouts for the Cool Smashers. Foxies were on a run, but he wanted to talk things over. They have a comfortable lead here, Panay.
Yes, and I think he wants to see more setups or a cleaner volleyball from the Farm Fresh Foxies. That's why he called that a timeout.
And that's on the line. Tubino. Wow. The last 5 points of the Foxies from Royce Tubino. She's got 9 already, tying the 9 of Molina and Tubu.
And this is a good sign for Farm Fresh because now Royce Tubino is on fire. Tuloy-tuloy yung pagkuha niya ng puntos for their squad. Kaya rin naiiba yung pwesto dito ng defense ng Creamline.
Pons turned away 2 in a row. Paat punches it through. It's been all Foxies here in the second set, Paneng.
And everyone really contributing in the scoring department. And even though we're seeing less quick attacks from Farm Fresh, but with Mylene Paat off the bench delivering points, so that's a good run for Farm Fresh.
And it only stops off the service fault by Lulu Romero, but this is as insurmountable as it can get in a semi-final matchup. 10-point lead for the Foxies. They're 2 points away from tying this match. Great pass by Molina. Paat. That's outside. Paat now with 5 points.
And that's the thing, even though makakuha or makakommit ng error dito on Farm Fresh, bumabawi sila kagad on the next point, not allowing Creamline to get a mini run. Kaya naman lumayo dito yung puntos ng Farm Fresh. And now after that off-the-block hit, they are now at set point.
Amazing court sense by Mylene Paat. She was about to get it, but then realized it was going to bounce out. 11 set points for the Foxies. What a dig, despite leading by 11. Chance ball for the Cool Smashers. 1-2 for De Guzman. 1 set point save. There are 10 more to go. And that is your Panalo play, brought to you by Yakult. They win the rally, but they're trailing in the set. And you see the reaction of Coach Zurabara. Good pass to Tubino. Romero. Combination play for the winning point. Mylene Paat, a huge lift off the bench with 6.
And that was a clean shot from Mylene Paat.
Pure Gold Always Panalo play of the set, brought to you by Pure Gold. Sa Pure Gold Always Panalo, a dominant finish by the Foxies. Set number 2 to tie this match at 1 set apiece.
Check, 1, 2. Mic test, 1, 2.
We're tied at 1 set each in a winner-take-all matchup between the Cool Smashers and the Foxies. But what a huge win for Farm Fresh in set number 2 against CREAMLINE. They really started off well and didn't let up until the end, Paneng.
Well, that was a good bounce back from the Farm Fresh Foxies. After losing the first set, they had better floor defense and also net defense, and their attack, they were more aggressive during that second set. And it's also good for the side of the Farm Fresh Foxies that whenever they commit an error, they were able to bounce back right away. Kaya naman we saw a lot of quick side out. But on the side naman of CREAMLINE, they had a hard time executing the plays even though they went for a lot of combination hits or combination attempts because of the Foxies' better net defense. But with that set number 2 win, we could see the dominance of Farm Fresh on the attack department with 17 attack points and compared to 9 of CREAMLINE. And Farm Fresh was also able to get 2 kill blocks and 1 service ace and less errors for that set. So that was a good run from Farm Fresh.
And how good do you have to be able to limit the Cool Smashers, one of the best attacking teams, to just 9 attacks? Hi everybody, Eric, Paneng, and Sam. Sam, what have you been getting from these two teams' feedback after the first 2 sets?
Well, obviously in the last part of the last set, we saw the veterans of Farm Fresh really stepping up. You've got Mama P, you've got Royce Tobino, and you've got Ces Molina really stepping up big time when they need it most. Of course, they want to make that historic, run to the first finals appearance of Farm Fresh. And sabi ni Ces sa akin, they're just trying to instill that mindset to the younger ones in Farm Fresh because if you guys remember, Ces has semis experience already. So she's trying to impart that mindset to the younger ones. So let's see how far that will take them here.
Obviously, a lot of experience going against them. With you mentioned, Paneng, how CREAMLINE, one of the most experienced teams post prelims, so they can handle the pressure, obviously, of this onslaught from the offense of the Foxies.
But of course, that was a big win for the Farm Fresh Foxies, limiting to only 14 points for the Cool Smashers. So coming to this third set, this is an important set. And if you're CREAMLINE, of course, we would expect also na gusto nilang makabawi. So we'll see how they will start this set number 3. But for Farm Fresh, they already knew na kaya nilang maglaro ng ganon kaganda. Ang laki ng lamang nila for that set number 2. So we'll see if they will be able to keep that momentum and how they will start with this set number 3.
All right, our big thanks to Sam Corrales for sharing her courtside insight with us right here. Sold out arena in San Juan for this winner-take-all matchup between the Foxies and the Cool Smashers, and we couldn't be in a better position right now, tied at 1 set apiece. Third set is underway. De Guzman reverses Tots Carlos. They need her offense. She did not score, Paneng, in set number 2.
That one is going to be a challenge for the side of CREAMLINE. We did talk during the pregame, na Bernadette Pons. So of course, we will expect a lot of points coming from her, but CREAMLINE needs to balance their offense and spread out or distribute their setups, activating their other attackers.
Well, speaking of balanced offense, 10 points for Molina. That's her 10th. And then 9 points for Tubu, 9 points for Tubino. You can't get any more balanced than that for the Foxies.
That's right. So all of their wing attackers really working well. Talking about the Farm Fresh Foxies, but on the side naman of Creamline, you know, the rest needs to step up more.
Good serve. And this is not coming back, says Molina. Back-to-back points here in set number 3, Paneng.
And this is a slow start once again from Creamline. This is something that they wouldn't want because like what we keep on mentioning, this is a important match because whoever wins this game will book the final slot for the finals.
Perfect pass by Nierba. Combination play. La Rosa, what a beautiful dig. Here's the reverse by Robbins Hardy to Tubu. De Guzman reverses as well. Both teams playing excellent offense and defense. Now to the middle. Meneses, the dig by De Guzman. Carlos, out of system play. This one outside. But Carlos seems pretty sure there was a touch. First referee didn't see it that way, so a challenge by Coach Meneses.
This is a early challenge for this set.
Well, they need it. Cool Smashers, winners of 3 All-Filipino conferences already. They're looking for championship number 4 in this conference, which will give them 10, no, check that, 11 overall championships. I mean, that's, for some teams, that's, you just dream about that kind of performance, right?
Well, that's something to be really proud of, itong achievements ng Creamline. And even though they had a lot of finals appearance already, there are a lot of MVPs then on their squad. So this is a well-balanced squad talking about the Creamline Cool Smashers.
But they've got a lot of turning around to do here in set number 3. I mean, losing by 11 points. I know a loss is just a loss, but by 11 points, that's something that sticks in your mind, and you've got to forget about that coming into this set 3.
And also for the side of Farm Fresh, you know, after winning that dominantly yung set number 2, of course, yung isip nila na alam nilang kaya nila, and they will be more eager to even play better coming to this third set.
Earlier, Erlindo Eusebio was telling us about how yung mga block touch manipis, sobrang nipis, and that's another example.
And we saw that, kung gaano kanipis yung palo na yon. And yung block touch actually from the blockers of Farm Fresh, so that's a successful challenge for Creamline.
So the game is tied 2-all, set 3. That dig going over for Atienza. Tubu tries again, blocked. Coverage by Robbins Hardy. Tubino. Again, Kayla Atienza is everywhere for coverage. Robbins Hardy with another dig. General will set it up to Trisha. Easy dig for Galanza. De Guzman goes to Pons, and Pons with the break point as we check back in with Sam Corrales.
Eric and Penang, if in the last game it was evident at the beginning that the Cool Smashers lacked their usual energy and championship form, today they are coming out with better body language communication and better passes in the game. Now the Creamline veterans, including Eliza Valdez, just came in the previous set to the delight of the fans here at the arena. And the Phenom told me, you know what, she just wants to play the sport happy. They worked hard to be here in the semi. She wants to keep it simple for everybody. She encouraged her team to just play their game, do their jobs, and stay together more than ever. They've done it 14 times, so another historic run to the finals can be within the reach if they find answers to the Farm Fresh Foxes. Back to you both.
All right, thank you, Sam. Well, they are the been there, done that team of the PVL, talking about the Cool Smashers. And if there's a team that has the composure to stay alive in this semifinal matchup, it's the Cool Smashers. They've scored 2 straight break points, make that 3 straight break points here. And they have turned it around, up by 3, Paneng, in the third set.
Well, during the second set, hindi ganun kaganda yung blocking ng Creamline. But this time, for this third set, it's working really well for their squad. And that was a good block, giving them a 3-point advantage for the Creamline Cool Smashers. Timeout, Farm Fresh.
Aggressive. More trying to high risk play volleyball. No risk, you can't win. High risk. Try to high risk volleyball. This is a semifinal!
Yes, yes,
Defense! Coach also!
Shades of Coach Oliver Almagro, high risk. That's what Coach Cogit Zorabara is asking for, high risk volleyball.
And you could see, you could hear also the sense of urgency during that timeout because after that dominant set to win, parang bumibigay itong Farm Fresh at the start of this set number 3. So this is something that they wouldn't want, especially having that a good run.
Tubu. And finally a side out for the Foxies. Tubu now with 10 points, second Foxy in double digits.
A good response after that timeout. Trisha Tubu getting that point off the block.
Full front line for Alohi Robbins-Hardy, even with Meneses serving. Tubino, De Guzman, and Tubu in front for Farm Fresh. Tots Carlos. Got it. Tots Carlos now with 9 after not scoring in the second set. She has 3 already in the third set.
But this is a good opposite hit once again from Tots Carlos.
Spike of the set brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan.
So they need to have more of those, not just from Tots Carlos, but also from the rest of the Cool Smashers.
Tubu misses. She's asking for a block touch. There is one.
Another quick side out here for Farm Fresh.
Only down by 2. Tubu and the Foxies.
Oh, good serve.
But a good pass as well. And that's going to be an overreach on De Guzman because the ball was going over already. De Guzman will not argue it further.
Captain lang, captain. Ay, sorry, captain. Abab.
Kahit nandito lang sa baba.
Anong tawag doon? Attack hit foot ang hapon. Attack hit foot ang hapon.
Dalawa yung kababa.
Ano wala doon? Captain. Cap. Ang hatol ko, attack hit foot. Kasi above the net yung contact sa bola. Yung contact sa bola, dito na dito.
There's a clarification that Gia Morado de Guzman still needed. The ball was above the net when she made contact and it was going to go over. What a set. La Rosa, what a dig. And that's going to be a point for De Leon.
And magandang bawi naman yun after that error earlier. La Rosa with that one-handed dig, but it went over the net and Bea De Leon was ready for that over ball.
There's probably even a net touch against Alohi Robbins-Hardy. Good pass by Molina. Here comes Tubino. Tubino misses. And the Cool Smashers sitting on a 3-point lead over the Foxies here in set number 3. Watch the final episode of The Bound Season 3 with Cla Loresco of FEU and Jihan Chumatico of Ateneo, alongside host Ken Batas, premiering this Friday at 6 p.m. on the Pilipinas Live app, with catch-up airing on the UAAP Varsity channel. It's right now standing room only inside the arena in San Juan. Sold-out crowd. Witness who will make it to the finals to take on the Super Spikers. And it is a toss-up between these two teams. Tied at 1 set each, but it is the Cool Smashers up by 4 points now. De Leon with back-to-back break points for CREAMLINE.
That was the first clean hit from the quick attack of CREAMLINE. Earlier, especially during the second set, na-check yan and nadidepensahan ng Farm Fresh. But this is a good sign for Creamline. They need to have more of those quick hits just to disrupt the blocking position and floor defense of Farm Fresh.
After the technical timeout, Riza Cruz checking in for the Foxies. There's Tobino with the side outs, but these have been few and far between for the Foxies here in set 3.
But they are still down by 3 points. So far, Creamline, whenever they commit an error, sila naman yung nakakuha ng quick side out. That's why we're seeing a separation here. 3 points advantage for the Cool Smashers.
They're going to need to score break points to get back in this first set, make that third set. Not that they're down big. Carlos not allowing the Foxies to get a break point. Sides out right away. First Cool Smasher in double digits. Tots Carlos with 10.
And that's a good back row hit again from Tots Carlos. And like what we mentioned, nakakuha sila ng quick side out dito even after the previous errors. That's important, and that will help their squad have more advantage on the scoreboard. But after that kill from Tots Carlos, a service error naman dito, meron ng Creamline.
How about Bernadette Pons? That's her first error of the game.
Oh.
She has 6 points and only 1 service fault. No attack faults. So efficient, Bernadette Pons. She's been doing this at such a high level since high school. Palarong pambansa, Bernadette Pons, in a national team as well. And now in the pros. Molina. This is not coming back, says Molina. Here's your break point for the Foxies. They scored 2 in a row. Molina with 12.
And earlier, we saw as much as 4 points advantage from Creamline, but this time they're just taking care of this 2 points advantage. And that's why they are forced to call for a timeout because Farm Fresh is playing catch-up now.
Papa-atakin si Bea. Atake si Bea. O, back-quick.
Back-quick?
Oo.
Back-quick, di ba?
Nagkakalan dito.
Yes. Saan mo ba? Magpapatuloy.
Pasa tayo, ha? Hindi, pag nasa kabila, same lang yun. Kunin mo yung middle, dalawa doon. Okay. Patay ka, go!
One, Creamline!
Cool Smashers and the Foxies with 1 timeout remaining each. And Bernadette Pons trying to stop this 2-point run of the Foxies. There's Aragalan off the bench today. He has not scored. Meanwhile, Paat off the bench with 6 for the Foxies. Off-speed hit. One-handed dig for Tobino. Molina. Pons pops it up. Gia to Gemma. Got it. Side out. Cool Smashers.
There you go. Yung mga sets ni Gia de Guzman. Low and fast set na for her open hitter. Targeting down the line, that was Gemma Galanza. There was a space there on that angle.
Bea De Leon with 7 points. Molina, off-speed hit. Galanza with a dig. De Guzman taking the option and scoring. De Guzman with 4.
And again, with that 1-2 play, minsan ang hirap bantayan yung ganyan ni De Guzman because she looked like she will set up her attackers. Kaya naman yung defense ng Farm Fresh umaatras. Inaantay nila yung attack but nagugulat sila sa mga 1-2 plays ni De Guzman.
She is one of the best when it comes to getting the option. Gia Morado de Guzman. 1 set apiece. Foxies, what an all-Filipino conference, right? First time semifinalists. And not just that, they have a chance to go to the finals. They're 2 sets away. But so are the Cool Smashers.
And that's why we said that this set is very important because whoever wins the set will have the advantage. And especially na we know, talo yung Creamline ng second set, babawi sila ngayong third set, and we see this 4 points advantage so far. But for Farm Fresh naman, parang it's the other way around. After winning that set number 2 convincingly, bumagal bigla yung laro nila here at set number 3.
Tubu, Molina, Tobino, all in double digits for the Foxies. Which means Alohi Robbins Hardy I mean, tip-top condition in setting up the offense of the Foxies. Inconclusive video because the camera right behind General. All right, so the call will stand. We'll hear the explanation from Patrick
Based
Castillo.
on the review, the challenge was inconclusive. Walang view. So the challenge of inconclusive, ang ruling natin, the last referee's decision will prevail. So that will be ball in.
What happened to that camera over there?
It was not, the view is not, your teammate blocked the count. Okay?
Well, Alohi Robbins-Hardy had a valid question. What about that camera over there? There are over 20 cameras used by the challenge system, but the answer by referee Patrick Castillo, one of the teammates who was blocking the view. And Joven Racelis, a member of the technical committee, explaining to assistant coach Kung Fu Reyes. Again, Joven Racelis coming over to speak to assistant coach Kung Fu Reyes.
Because they were asking if there are other angles to check that last play.
That goes to show you how important these points are in a game like this.
But because if the challenge is inconclusive, the point will stay with the Creamline Cool Smashers.
Right now, the point has been awarded to the Cool Smashers. They're up by 4 in the venue scoreboard. And obviously, Foxies, if they have a valid argument here, they're stating their case because that's a point is a point.
Yes.
If it was a valid pancake save, then should be replayed the point.
But it is going to be a long lull. There's a lot of discussion happening on the other side of the table. But if you're these players inside the court, parang yung momentum mo nawawala dahil ang tagal nyo nag-aantay.
So obviously this is not good if you're the Cool Smashers. You have momentum, you have the rhythm. And Alohi Robbins-Hardy right beside Patrick Castillo. And I think they're searching for other views, other angles. And Patrick Castillo pointing to the big screen here inside the arena. I think they have another angle to show the fans and, of course, the Foxies. Last day of the round-robin semifinals. Huge implications in this game for these two teams. The winner will meet the Super Spikers in the finals. The loser will battle for the 3rd place versus the high-speed hitters.
There was a whistle, so let's see.
Challenge was inconclusive. In the ruling of inconclusive, the first referee's last decision will prevail. Point for Creamline.
All right, so they probably tried to find different angles, but again, all boils down to inconclusive evidence. And the last call of the referee stands. Point for the Cool Smashers. 12-8 is our score. Coach Surabara and the Foxies down by 4.
And if you're the Foxies, you would want to stay focused and as much as possible get this next point Wag na masyadong isipin yung nangyari na yon because it was already decided. It's inconclusive, so the point will go to CREAMLINE and they're up by 4 points.
All right, just one last time, we're showing you the video, the inconclusive evidence of a floor touch. Here we go. Short pass, so it's an out-of-system play. That dig by De Leon, forcing also an out-of-system play for the Cool Smashers. Molina. And this one will not come back, says Molina. And you mentioned, Paneng, they need to side out. Here it is.
And that's what they did. That was Cesc Molina, one of the leading scorers for the Farm Fresh Foxies.
13 points for Molina, 10 attacks, 3 aces. Foxies back in position 1, full front line again for Alohi Robbins-Hardy. Coverage by Nierva on the block against Galanza. An awkward-looking shot by Cots Carlos, but they get a free ball out of it. De Guzman back to Galanza, same play. Tubu, and the dig going over. Chance ball for the Foxies, overpassed by Melina, and that one is put away by Pangs Panaga.
That was one of the strongest hits from Pangs Panaga after that over ball.
What a wild sequence there. Foxies get a chance ball, but they return it right away off a bad pass by Cesc Molina. And the lead is back to 4 for the Cool Smashers. Bad pass. Fergus ace.
But it was a loaded serve with a good target from Gia de Guzman.
First ace for De Guzman. And the lead is 5.
Don't sing! I said to you before game, don't sing the arm. Basic, basic. One more, hi, next one. I go. Good game, good game. Mental versus mental. No skill versus skill. Mental versus mental. This is a semi-final.
Here we go.
5-point deficit against the Foxies. That is their last timeout of set number 3.
It was a good reminder from Koji as well regarding their first ball, not to swing the arms because CREAMLINE has a lot of good servers. Their serves are loaded with good targets. So as much as possible, have a steady platform on the first ball. Itaas lang yung bola straight in the middle for Robbins-Hardy to be able to execute a play.
Another overpass there. And an overreach against Alohi Robbins-Hardy. This is a free fall for the Foxies. Now down by 6.
So they still need to adjust on that first ball. Robbins-Hardy is in the back row, so that's a illegal touch from her.
Much better pass by General Tubu. Got to get herself going. The hit is outside. Patrick Alan Castillo says there's a block touch. So Tubu with the side out, but a lot of work ahead for the Foxies, down by 5.
They need to have at least a 3-point run here, talking about the Farm Fresh Foxies, if they want to cut down the lead of CREAMLINE.
Good serve. De Guzman one-handed set, and the hit is right on the line. Panaga now with 8 points.
No run for the Farm Fresh Foxies because Pangs Panaga was able to get that point after that one-handed quick set from Gia de Guzman. They're up by 6 points. Second technical timeout.
6-point lead for the Cool Smashers, their biggest. And a rare free ball given up by the Cool Smashers off that dig by Atienza. Tubu with 13 points now.
Take a look what happened there again. He was trying to save that ball, but yun nga lang, saktong-sakto sa net, and Trisha Tubu was there waiting for that 1-2 play.
But like what you mentioned, Paneng, a lot of break points needed here by the Foxies. Down by 5. De Guzman goes to Pons. Pons rejected. There's your break point for the Foxies.
This is a mini run now for the Farm Fresh Foxies. 2 points. So they will need more of that. But good serves also coming from Riri Meneses.
Tubu with the last 2 points of the Foxies. That is her first block of the game. Block against Carlos, goes outside. So a side out for Tots. Still the only Cool Smasher in double digits with 11.
So off the block hit by Tots Carlos. That's an important point for them. Cutting the momentum of Farm Fresh Foxies.
Meanwhile, Didge Rodriguez back in the game for the Cool Smashers, replacing Pangs Panaga. Well, two-handed reach for Riza Cruz. That's just her second point today.
Good adjustment from her. Robbins Hardy tried to save that ball, one-handed set. And mataas pa nga yun for Cruz but nagawa niya ng paraan.
Cruz is 5'7". Mylene Paat back in the game. She had an excellent sets 1 and 3. 6 points total for Mylene Paat. La Rosa keeping it alive. Tubino. And this dig getting away from Galanza. Another break point here for the Foxies.
Much needed point for Farm Fresh. Ngayon 3 points na lang ang inahabol nila sa lamang ng Creamline. Take a look at that soft hit from Royce Tubino. Not much ball control from Galanza for that dig.
Great swipe by Bernadette Pons. There was no other way to hit the ball but to try and swipe it off the blockers, and that's exactly what she did.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're the blocker and you already saw the attacker na hindi na niya papaluin ng malakas kasi hahabulin na lang niya yung bola. So, hahanap na lang yan ng position ng blocking para ma-swipe out yung bola or attack.
Tubino. Block. Excellent defense by the Cool Smashers at the net.
A good net defense once again from the Cool Smashers. So you could see yung coverage naman ng Farm Fresh hindi masyadong tight for this set number 3.
Second block for De Leon. She's got 8 points. Good pass by General. Paat. Got it. Mylene Paat now with 7.
And she saw that there was no cross-court block and doon na lang niya diniin yung bola.
Paat has given the Foxies so much energy and sparked off the bench. Meanwhile, Ara Galang checking in just for the first time today. Galang coming off a 7-point performance against the high-speed hitters. She only scored 2 points in the only meeting against the Cool Smashers in the prelims. Paat right at the corner, and there's a block touch as well.
So that's a point for Mylene Paat. Hindi niya nakompleto yung approach niya, but that was just a good target. Waiting for the position of the block and targeting that zone number 5.
Last 2 points of the Foxies coming from Mylene Paat. It's back to a 3-point game. Good save by De Leon. Chance ball here for the Foxies. A little low. The set for Molina. Pons backing up for the hit. Galang with a pass. Paat with a drop. Mylene Paat has the last 3 points of the Foxies. And it's now just a 2-point game, Paneng.
And you can see na nagsiscramble sa position ng blocking itong Cool Smashers. Kaya dumadaklis yung bola sa yung mga attacks ng Farm Fresh.
Timeout here for the Cool Smashers.
Yeah, takbo tayo dito. tumakbo. Ha? Pero sa ngayon, tulungan mo muna si Pons dito. 8 quick lang si Bea. 8 quick lang. 8 quick din, sika lang muna. Kaya yan. May back row naman tayo dito. Pero pagbalikan, depende sa bola kung saan.
Okay.
Kaya yan, girls!
Gitna to.
Hey, one, CREAMLINE!
Cool Smashers and the Foxies out of timeouts already. Savvy Davidson and the rest of the high-speed hitters after winning the Invitational and the On-Tour last season. Made it as far as the semifinals, but got taken out by the Foxies in Tuesday's semifinal matchup. De Guzman, here's Pons. A dig by Galang. Paat with a right hand, tipping it over. Pons again, blocked. Pons, third straight try. La Rosa with a dig. Molina, got it. Run continues for the Foxies. They've scored 5 in a row now.
So indeed, a very good run here for the Farm Fresh Foxies. We thought earlier na makukuha na yung control ng CREAMLINE Cool Smashers because they led as much as 6 points or 7 points earlier. But Farm Fresh stayed composed as well, taking it 1 point at a time. And now with Ana Galang, she had a solid serves so far and a solid defense.
Now how about the setting of Louis Romero as well? Especially that last point setting up Cesc Molina. Pancake save is good for La Rosa. Molina with the easy over. Negrito. De Leon is blocked. Negrito pops it up. Nierva to Gumabao. Oh, the pass going over, touching the antenna. And the lead of the Cool Smashers has been erased. We are tied at 19.
And now gumagana na uli yung blockings nitong Farm Fresh. We're not seeing a lot of kill blocks from either squad, but for Farm Fresh, napapabagal nila yung mga attacks dumating on their side of the court. That's why they were able to set up or execute plays.
De Leon is blocked. Paat turns around, keeps it alive. Romero reverses. Molina is blocked. Coverage by Cruz. And Pons digs it up. Gumabao. La Rosa has been playing tremendous defense for the Foxies. Negrito to Pons. And Pons will score. Gets a block touch.
A much-needed point for the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers to take away the momentum from the Farm Fresh Foxies. They were having a good run.
This time an amazing side out by Bernadette Pons. That's her 8th point. And the Cool Smashers back on top by 1. General, perfect pass. Romero reverses Paat. And the dig by Pons. Gumabao from the opposite. Got it. Back-to-back points. Cool Smashers back up by 2.
There you go. That was Michelle Gumabao finding the hands of the blockers.
Gumabao with 3 points. That is her first point since the second set. No more timeouts remaining for both teams, so Coach Tuzurabara can't break this run and try to talk it over. Atienza with a perfect pass. And Galanza curling around De Leon for the second straight break point of the Cool Smashers.
This is a 3-0 run so far for the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. So Negrito really going for that combination play. Maiba lang yung ikot ng kanyang mga players.
And this time, an adjustment. My coach Zurabara, Desclemente de Guzman, for blocking purposes, is in the game. Molina getting the side out. That's huge. 15 for Molina, and it's a 2-point game.
In between two blockers, hindi ganun ka-establish yung position ng blocking ng CREAMLINE. But they still would want to take care of this 2 points advantage. Earlier, we saw quick side out from their squad. So we'll see what type of setup they will do here after the first ball.
De Guzman hasn't scored yet today. Perfect pass by Galanza. Here comes Gumabao. And it hit the antenna, according to the lines judge. And it'll be a challenge naturally by the Cool Smashers. This is a big point.
Because if they win this point, they will be up by 2 points.
Yep.
But the set was a bit low and parang lagpas pa on the angle of Michelle Gumabao. So we'll see after this official replay what happened during that last sequence.
Good opportunity as well to use this as a timeout. Very clearly an antenna touch. And just like a few block touches earlier, manipis din to, but still a block, an antenna touch nevertheless.
The CREAMLINE still up by 1 point, and Farm Fresh looking to tie things up.
Yep. Good solid serve. Combination play again. They love this play. Galanza coming around to the middle. And that's produced the last 2 points for the Cool Smashers, Paneng.
And we've been seeing that since the start of this game. They always go for that combination hit. And you can see the delay on the block from Meneses.
And the return of Valdez. Eliza Valdez to serve, getting the crowd roaring again. 23 serving 21. General, good pass. Paat. Off the block, Mylene Paat. Side out, Foxys. Mylene Paat with 10 points.
And that's off the bench pa. Hindi pa siya nagsistart ng set.
It is
so,
a season high for Mylene Paat, by the way, the 10 points.
well, quality minutes from her. And also, double substitution sila palagi with Romero. And Romero doing a good job distributing the sets.
Good serve, but a better pass by Nierva. Gumabao off the block and outside. It is 2 set points for the Cool Smashers.
Well, you thought that the set was a bit too low for Michelle Gumabao, but she was still able to convert that into a point, especially that there was a delay in the block from the Farm Fresh Foxies. It bounced off the hands of Meneses.
Now, Gia Morado de Guzman to serve. She's got a full front line of Carlos, Panaga, and Galanza. Got to get a good receive here for the Foxies. There it is. Molina. Going to be an out-of-system play. Galanza. Dug by General. This time Molina. Atienza passes. Carlos. General sets it up. Tubu. That dig going over and outside. Side out. Foxies. It's a 1-point game.
So the next point will be very important for both of these squads. If the point will go to Farm Fresh after this first serve, we will have an extended third set. But of course, if you're CREAMLINE, this is an important set as well. They would want to close this one out. So we'll see what setup they will execute.
1 set point saved. There's 1 more for the Cool Smashers. Carlos got it off the block. Carlos with 12. And the Cool Smashers hold on to win set number 3. Always Panado play of the set, brought to you by Pure Gold. Some Pure Gold, always Panado. This is what the fans expected, and that's exactly what they got. The Cool Smashers up 2 sets to 1 against the Foxies, going to set 4. A 2-point win again for the Cool Smashers, this time in set number 3 to lead 2-1 against the Foxies going to set number 4.
Well, it was actually a good run for the Farm Fresh Foxies because earlier during set number 3, we saw as much as 6 points advantage from the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers, and we thought that they will take charge all the way until the end of this set, but nakahabol itong Farm Fresh Foxies, and it was actually a bit of a scare for the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers because when Aragalang checked in, she was there for a while on the service line. She had good serves and a better floor defense, and of course the insertion of Mylene Paat and Romero. So nagkaroon ng magandang run doon ang Farm Fresh. But of course, if you're CREAMLINE, they also had a lot of firepower, especially closing that set and giving them a 1-set advantage for this game. And looking at the numbers, ganun, medyo dikit lang sa attack with 19 attack points from CREAMLINE and 17 for Farm Fresh. But CREAMLINE was able to tally 3 kill blocks and 1 service ace. But Farm Fresh was able to limit their errors to only 2 errors. But of course, during the latter part of that set, dun na sila nagkaroon na medyo bumagal yung laro nila, especially that CREAMLINE had a very good run. I think that was a 4-0 run. Kaya nakakuha rin ng advantage doon ng CREAMLINE. So now they're up by 1 set. So set number 4, we'll see how the Farm Fresh Foxies will respond to that.
A great bounce back by the Cool Smashers. They only had 9 attack points in set number 2. So to get more than double that, obviously it's a great achievement. Carlos with 12 points, still the only player in double digits for the Cool Smashers. Meantime, Molina's 15, one of only 4 players in double digits. And Tubu also, gotta mention, 15 points. Tubino with 11 and Mylene Paat off the bench with a conference high 10 points.
So there's a lot of players from the Foxies that's already scored in double digits. But on the side naman of CREAMLINE, even though there's a lot of points distribution for Farm Fresh, mas maayos naman yung floor defense ng CREAMLIne.
And net touch, we're gonna call against Tubu. Lindy Eusebio, our second referee, calling it. Challenge, very early one for the Foxies as they try and prevent Cool Smashers from getting a free point to start set number 4.
First point of the set. Challenge agad.
Well, a finals appearance is on the line for the Foxies. They don't want to leave anything to chance here in this 4th set. Down 2-1 against a former All-Filipino Conference champion. So clearly a net touch. Trisha Tubu didn't even feel it. She looks surprised.
Yeah, because earlier we saw na parang they were clarifying ano yung net touch. They thought it was her hair, but there was indeed a net touch on top of the net.
So 1-0, Cool Smashers. Set 4, Tubu. Block, and this one is not coming back. 2-point run to start off set 4 for the Cool Smashers.
So gumagana na uli yung blockings ng CREAMLINE. So if you're Farm Fresh, as much as possible, you would want to have a tighter coverage whenever your attackers go for the hit.
What a way to start if you're the Cool Smashers. Forcing the error, and this time getting the monster block. Bad pass. Well, Lady Luck smiling on the Foxies that time around. Tots Carlos getting a freebie, but unable to put it away. Coach Meneses, I'm sure deep down inside he's thinking, sayang.
Kasi dapat ang point na nila yun eh, freebie. But it was a mistimed hit.
Bad pass. Oh, but De Guzman able to pop it up perfectly for Panaga to put it away. Panaga with 9.
But you heard how Pangs Panaga shouted at Gia De Guzman because she wants that set. Parang lahat ng mga teammates niya tinawanan din si Pangs dahil the way she shouted.
Tubino. What a dig for De Guzman. Pons. And the run continues for the Cool Smashers. Pons now with 9, and the lead is 3 points.
A good start here for the Cool Smashers.
Still no attack point for the Foxies here in set 4. What a dig for Galanza. Set by Panaga to Carlos. Rolling it in. Carlos with 13 points.
Ang ganda ng floor defense na yon ng Creamline. Actually, it was Pangs Panaga who set that up to Tots Carlos.
Almost running over De Guzman just to set it up. 4-point lead. Cool Smashers. Tubu. Oh, another great dig by Galanza. Pons. General to Tubu. And finally, the first attack point for the Foxies in set 4.
That was a good angle from Trisha Tubu. Layo din ang pwesto ng blocking ng Creamline.
Tubu with 16. Pons. And Pons misses.
And it was a miss hit from Bernadette Pons.
Just the first attack fault for Bernadette Pons. That's how efficient, that's how good Pons is. Carlos off the block, quick slide out for the Cool Smashers. Carlos is on automatic here in set 4.
And it was not that strong yung opposite hit ni Tots Carlos, but a very good execution there, waiting for the hands of the blockers, targeting down the line.
14 for Tots, all coming from attacks. Bad pass. Chance ball for the Cool Smashers. Atienza with a good save. Here comes Pons. That one dug by Molina. Tubino hits the antenna. 6th error for Royce Tubino, and the lead is back to 4 for the Cool Smashers. Aragalang wants to come in, and she will be allowed to, replacing Royce Tubino. Let's see what Galang has up her sleeve here in set 4. Foxies badly need offense. Galang blocked. And a hit by Alohi Robbins-Hardy. Pons. What a dig. Molina. Galang again. This dig going over. Coverage. Molina in the back zone. From the pipe, Tubu. Got it. Trisha Tubu. What a hit.
And that was a good play also from the Farm Fresh Foxies. Usually yung back row ni Trisha Tubu was on the opposite side, but she went to the middle. Kaya naman tignan mo yung angle niya na yon.
17, Trisha Tubu. Just a side out though for the Foxies. They need break points, and they need it now. That's on the line. Bernadette Pons, the second Cool Smasher in double digits with 10.
Welcome back. You're still watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference semifinals between Farm Fresh and Creamline. I'm inviting you to watch the first ever batch of the PVL All-Star Showcase 2026 happening this May 1st. You can catch it live on the Pilipinas Live app on One Sports and on One Sports Plus. Going back to the game, and this girl right here, Gemma Galanza. It just goes to show how much these two teams are working for that last ticket to the finals. Towards the end of set 3, we saw the composure of the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers despite the Foxies almost catching up with a run. But right now, it seems like CREAMLINE is not looking back. Gemma has been a crucial piece here. She earned her chance as they started today, and with the fact that she's only been back for over a week, sabi niya sa akin, nangangapapa ako. But one thing's for sure, Gemma knows that mental toughness will spell the difference here. It is all or nothing. Back to you, Bo.
All right, thanks, Sam. Right on cue, Galanza with her first block of the game, giving her 7 points total.
Well, that was a free ball coming from the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers, but the Farm Fresh Foxies was not able to execute that and convert it into a point.
Another shank of a pass from Galang this time. Molina, easy dig for Bernadette Pons. Carlos. Molina scored the last point for the Foxies. Another great dig for Pons. Galanza, the drop comes up short.
Medyo nabitin siya doon. Well, it was a good set from the Guzman, but a mistimed approach there from Galanza. But they still have this 4-point advantage, and we're seeing quick side outs from their squad since the start of this game.
Good adjustment there by Cool Smashers after the pass by Nierva. Fast rally going on. Molina. And finally Molina connects. Finding a gap in the back zone of the Cool Smashers.
And there was actually a good reaction from Cruz after that 1-2 play from the Guzman.
And a timeout here for the Cool Smashers. No, I think there's challenge.
Medyo malakas yung serve, medyo malakas. Gitna lang natin. Kaya ikaw matake doon. Gemma, expect na dalawa. May back row naman tayo. Ha? So kung may pasa tayo, tuloy nyo na. Akin ang palo.
Okay.
Ha? Kung wala, reaction daw. Sa lubong tayo, cover.
So it was not a challenge, excuse me, just a timeout for the Cool Smashers after that point by Molina. They still have one timeout remaining and trying to protect a 3-point lead here in set 4. Farm Fresh Foxies looking for break points here. And a nice dig for Galang. Easy over for Gia. Robbins Hardy to Molina. And Molina. Second straight point for her in set number 4. And that's a break point for the Foxies. They've scored 2 in a row.
It was a good set also from Robbins Hardy, waiting for the approach of Meneses. Kaya naman nakuha niya yung block doon ni Bea De Leon, leaving only one blocker for Ces Molina.
2 lady sub for Coach Meneses as Gumabao and Negrito return. They led by as many as 5. Now Meneses and the Foxies have cut the deficit to 2. Gumabao. Easy dig for Tubu. Molina again. And Molina punching holes to the defense of the Cool Smashers, Pading.
Different targets from Ces Molina. Earlier, we saw a couple of down-the-line hits from her. But this time, seeing that open, the cross-court defense of CREAMLINE.
Excellent court vision by Ces Molina. The last 3 points she scored, big gaps in the defense of the Cool Smashers. She's got 18 already. Galanza. That was a floater, and still got an easy point.
You're right, it was not a strong hit, but a good target there. Actually, nabitin na naman siya sa approach niya. Pababa na siya na napalo niya yung bola. But not good reaction from the defense of Farm Fresh Foxies.
Galanza with 8. Good pass by Galang. Combination play, Molina. Pons picking it up in the back zone. Negrito to Galanza. General. Galang keeping it alive. Molina with a hit. Another dig for Pons. Galanza from the middle. And Galanza, that play has produced another point for the Cool Smashers.
At naiwan also yung pwesto ng defense ng Foxies because they thought that Galanza will target cross-court, but take a look at the change of direction of the target there. Sa gitna lang bumagsak yung bola ni Gemma.
Timeout here for the Foxies. They have one remaining. We'll listen in.
One touch, you are ball. You are ball. Go, go, go. CREAMLINE, always one touch ball, moving, position 6 player. One more, go.
Next lang,
Good game, good game. Hey, everyone, go, come on. Come on, come on.
Still a manageable deficit for Coach Koji Tsuramara. As you look at the Super Spikers, already finals bound, waiting for the winner of this matchup. So their game later against the high-speed hitters, they will obviously want to finish strong, get a win to sort of boost you going to your first game number 1 on Tuesday next week.
And also for PLDT, na even though no chances sila for the finals, but of course they would want to get that momentum going to the battle for third games.
Meneses with 8 points. She's got 4. Great rotation again for the Foxies with Alohi Robbins-Hardy serving. Gumabaw. Coverage by Pons. Gumabaw tries again. Dug by Galang. Pons. Excellent defender. And Galanza now in double digits. The third Cool Smasher with 10 or more.
This is a good run for the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. Now Tots Carlos and Gia de Guzman checking in again for CREAMLINE.
Two excellent sets so far for de Guzman. Short pass. Molina. And the dig goes over. Chance ball. They don't wait for a second touch. Meneses can't put it away. And this time, Meneses with a monster block against Gemma.
Well, they will need more of those. Talking about the Farm Fresh Foxies, take a look at that again. Saradong-sarado yung cross court for Gemma.
There is no challenge. Just buzzer went off as it got disconnected from its stand. Good pass. Carlos swiping it. And the drop shot. Trisha Tubu with 18.
Mahabol itong Farm Fresh Foxies. Very steady volleyball we're seeing from them.
They were down by as many as 5 points. They are now within 1. Molina has 3 aces already. Combination play. And again from the middle off a differential. Galanza. They love running this play. And that's the reason why.
They're using their middle attackers as screen also para lang makakuha ng blockers. You saw earlier na tumalon si Ara Galang sa block for Pangs Panaga.
Side out, Cool Smashers. A block against Galang. General goes to Trisha Tubu. Triple block. No. That's a double block. And Panaga scores the break point for the Cool Smashers.
Take a look at that again. Oh, ang ganda ng block na yon. Nowhere to go for Trisha Tubu.
They give the block to Pons. Lead is back to 3. Tubu blocked again, but this one bouncing outside for the Foxy side out.
But you could see the delay in the block from Pangs.
The deficit may be small for the Foxies, Paneng, but they found it difficult to make runs because of the smart hitting by Pons Carlos and Gemma Galanza and the terrific defending by Pons. Spike of the set right here, brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng Bayan, Carlos with 15 points already.
But so far, you could see on the side of the Creamline Cool Smashers na kahit na makakuha sila ng magagandang palo from Farm Fresh, ang ganda ng floor defense nitong Cool Smashers.
At Molina with a good dig right there, and they turn it around from defense to offense. Tubu now with 20. And another run here from the Foxies.
Try targeting down the line.
Romero, Baat return. This rotation has also been very beneficial for the Foxies. One-handed dig for La Rosa. Baat, the set coming from behind her. No problem.
Oh, it was outside.
Just outside. It was close. And technical timeout. The Cool Smashers up by 3. UAAP Season 88 Volleyball is in full swing. Watch the games every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available in the UAAP Varsity Channel and on One Sports, because legends start here. Final 2 games of the eliminations in UAAP Volleyball happens starting Saturday and Sunday before we kick off the Final 4. Last technical timeout of the set and probably of the match if the Foxies can't turn this around. Hit goes outside for Pons, so a freebie for the Foxies.
Miss hit from Pons, but they still have a 2 points advantage now. And earlier we're seeing quick side outs from Creamline.
Yep. Got to score some break points here. Aragalang serving. She has not scored yet in the game. Good pass by Gemma. There's a break point off the monster block.
Back-to-back points from the Farm Fresh Foxies. But they will need more of those.
19 for Ces Molina. And it's back to a 1-point game. Short pass. Out of system play. Cool Smashers. No problem for Bernadette Pons. No such thing as a broken play. Pons with 12.
Yeah, bumawi naman doon si Pons. And that's nice about Gia de Guzman also. Na kahit na nagkaka-errors yung spikers niya, pinapabawi din niya kaagad. But that setup actually came from the libero of Creamline.
So only a small 2-point run for the Foxies. There's a bad pass by Galang. Molina out of system play and outside hit as well. Easy break point for the Cool Smashers to restore a 3-point lead.
There's a timeout here by the Farm Fresh Foxies. Let's listen to their huddle.
You are spiking the course, but you have to take a point. Arrange.
Yes. May malayo pa yan. Kaya pa natin yan, ha? Kaya mo. Sagay lang natin.
Okay, be catch. Okay, 3 front. Side. Yeah. It's okay, be catch. Second.
right now the trend is whoever leads by at least 3 points wins the set. And so far, Foxies have only led by 1, while the Cool Smashers have led by as many as 5 here in set number 4. And right now they're trying to protect a 3-point cushion. Paat. Got it. Cut shot. Beautiful.
3 points advantage, no more. After that cross-court hit from Mylene Paat.
11 for Paat. Good pass by Nierva. Here comes Tots Carlos. The dig by Romero. Galang all the way out to Paat. Paat with the right hand pushing it. And Paat may have hurt her knee, but she's okay.
That was a scary landing from Mylene Paat. I think I saw it na yung paglang niya medyo naka-cross legs na rin siya.
So the point goes to the Cool Smashers. They're back up by 3. As Didge Rodriguez comes in for De Leon. Nice to see Paat okay, and she's been having a great game. This is her best scoring game so far of the All-Filipino Conference. 11 points off the bench. Molina gets it. Side out. Foxies. 19 for Ces Molina.
Back on the court here, Trisha Tubu and Robbins Hardy. They need to have a good run here to tie things up.
Great pass by Pons, and that's the result. Activating Panaga for her 11th point.
That was a perfect first ball from Bernadette Pons. And you can see the delay on the block from the Farm Fresh Foxies. Nagpalo na ni Panaga, patalon pa lang yung mga blockers ng Farm Fresh.
Molina. Dig by Pons. Galanza against a double block. Gemma Galanza with 12. And the lead back to 4.
This is going to be a tough situation for the Farm Fresh Foxies because they need 4 points to tie things up, but CREAMLINE only needs 4 points to close this match.
De Guzman with a good serve again. She has 1 ace already and a monster block. Another great point for the Cool Smashers. This will be challenged by the Foxies.
Because they saw that it landed on the line, but Farm Fresh Foxies are calling it outside.
Well, it happened right in front of the bench of Farm Fresh. So they must have gotten a really good look to use up their final challenge of the set.
It's going to be an interesting point.
Oh, and they're probably right.
Oh my goodness me!
It is outside. The point goes to the Foxies.
That was a close one.
So it's 21-18. A 3-point game. Molina serving. She's got 3 aces. She has the most out of any Foxy. Hard pass by Galanza. Chance ball, Foxies. They cannot convert as Panaga gets her 6th block of the match.
But I also want to credit that point to Gia de Guzman because that was a tight first ball, but she was able to save it, send it over to the side of the Farm Fresh Foxies. But a perfect finish there with the kill block of Pams Panaga.
Tubino. Gonna be a tough chase for Atienza. Here comes Pons. Tubu trying to cut down this 3-point or 4-point lead by the Cool Smashers. Block against Carlos. Tots, drop shot by General. Tubino. Defense of both teams holding up so far in this rally. Tubino again. One-handed dig by Kayla Atienza. That was too close to the perch of our first referee, and Pons unable to keep it alive.
But they would want to take care of this 3 points advantage. Talking about the Creamline Cool Smashers, so far they're having a good run. But Farm Fresh, medyo nakikita mo na nahihirapan sila makakuha ng madaling puntos.
So that's a good break point for the Foxies. They need a couple more to put pressure on the Cool Smashers, but Panaga is on a roll here in set number 4. 13 points already. And the Cool Smashers inching closer to a huge finish in set 4. Eliza Valdez returns along with Bea De Leon as the crowd roars in approval. Robbins Hardy to Tubino. Rejected coverage by Alohi. Trisha, this one too close to the net. And it goes outside. And just like that, Paning. 5 match points for the former AFC champions.
And as you could see the delight from the fans as early as now, because 1 point na lang ang kailangan nila to close this match with Eliza Valdez serving.
Tubu with everything on the line. And a hit that goes wide. The 4th attack ball for Trisha Tubu, and it is all over. A big smile on the face of Sherwin Meneses, and that says it all as the banners are on full display inside the arena in San Juan. Creamline will get a chance to win their 4th All-Filipino Conference with this 4-set win against the Foxies. Pure Gold, always panalo. Play of the set brought to you by Pure Gold. Sa Pure Gold, always panalo.
Well, this is a good game actually for the Creamline Cool Smashers. They had a good start, but bumaba yung laro nila nung second set. But what's important is how they bounce back.
Show of sportsmanship as we show you the confirmation. Creamline wins in 4 against Farm Fresh. A huge 4th set for the Cool Smashers, winning by 6 points to clinch this semi-final matchup against the Foxies in 4 sets. And our Babad player of the game brought to you by Devant. Enjoy unforgettable TV Babad moments with your family only with Devant. 1 of 4 players in double digits. Excellent game for Mangs Panaga.
And that's right, she's our best player of the game, and she is with Sam Corrales. Go ahead, Sam.
From rank number 4 to their 15th time in the PVL finals, please welcome back the and 6 blocks. Pangs, congratulations! Napaka-emotional mo ngayon, Pangs. Pwede mo ba i-describe sa amin kung gaano kahalaga itong moment for you?
Well, sobrang hirap ng season na to, pero pinaghirapan talaga namin every training. So lahat ng hard works namin lumabas dito sa game.
Sa final stretch ng game, nakita namin, Pangs, yung kapit mo, yung laban at yung tapang. Saan ka kumuha ng lakas sa endgame?
Well, dedicated to lahat sa mga teammates ko, sa coaches ko, and sa management na sobrang suporta talaga sa amin.
Pangs, meron ka bang gustong batiin yung family and friends mo or fans ng CREAMLINE na sumuporta talaga sa inyo today and throughout the conference? Sa lahat ng tao dito sa arena.
Una-una, thank you lahat sa CREAMLINE supporters na naniwala hanggang dulo sa amin. And thank you Rebisco family, Sir Jonathan, Ma'am Cathy, Sir Alan, Ma'am Lisan, Attorney Lily, Alliance, World Balance, Hello Manny, Bello, Andox, and sa family ko sa Bataan, kay Papa, and sa mga pamangkin ko, happy birthday kay Kiko, and hello sa wife ko, kay Mitch.
And there you have it. You just heard from our player of the game, Pangs Panaga. The finals cast is complete. It is CREAMLINE versus Signal. Back to you, Eric and Panen.
All right, thank you, Sam. Congratulations, Pangs Panaga. Again, one of 4 players in double digits, including Carlos with 15, Pons with 12, Galanza with 13. Terrific performance to barge back into the finals. And we close out this round-robin semifinals with the finals-bound Super Spikers taking on the high-speed hitters. Thanks to our director, Marvin Chavez, game producer, Carlo Grajo, for Sam Corrales, my partner, Paneng de Königswarder, I'm Eric Tipan. Sad day for the Foxies. Their run to the finals falls short today as Pangs Panaga and the Cool Smashers return to try and win their 4th AFC as they take on Super Spikers Tuesday next week in the finals of the All-Filipino Conference exclusively on your Signal channels.